Hi, little chef. Welcome to day 3 aboard the Catalyst. Since I've been going to bed at like 9:30, 10 o'clock, I've been waking up pretty early, usually around 6:30. Get up there. First thing I do is make myself a nice hot cup of coffee. I take my coffee with no sugar. No sugar. Bad way to start a morning. Just with a little splash of cream. So I put my little splash of cream in my coffee. Hot, steaming hot coffee. Then I head over to the oatmeal bar and I get myself a nice bowl of hot oatmeal with walnuts, dates, the puffed rice granola, and a little bit of brown sugar. I don't like to add milk to my oatmeal. I know I'm a little weird. So then once I get that, I've kind of started a little routine. Once I get my oatmeal and coffee, I come out here on this deck and I stand and just look at the view because, I mean, you don't get this every day, right? So I'm trying to enjoy it while I'm here. I know it's a little cold, but it's so well worth it. It's quiet, it's peaceful, and I just love like the morning fogginess. So I've been enjoying that, and I'm making it a routine on this boat. We did an early morning anchor pull because we were trying to get underway. We were heading to, where were we heading? We pulled anchor pretty early today because we were heading to Dawes Glacier. I had no expectations, but let me tell you, I was freaking blown away. It was the most amazing thing. And I feel like I say this about everything that I've been seeing, but I truly am like in awe. Just the wildlife here is insane, and the terrain is gorgeous. I don't know if you can see behind me, but it's been unreal. I think I ran out of words to describe it. So I've just been saying like incredible over and over and over again. All right, so we started our transit. We had elote pork with squash and shredded pork. And on top, guess what the chef did? Guess what he did? He put the goose tongue in a salsa and he like poured it on top. It was like a goose tongue salsa verde kind of action going on. I mean, again, one of those things that I was like, wow, I'm proud of us for picking those goose tongues. But yeah, so he blended the goose tongues with peppers and I'm thinking like garlic and onion. I should have been watching more closely because it was fantastic. But the goose tongue's just like slightly salty, slightly a little like seafoody, like fishy a little, which added a little funkiness to it. And so he poured that salsa verde goose tongue over the shredded pork, and then he had flour tortillas with like lime and avocado mash, and then cilantro to top it off, and I made a little burrito. It was so good. Again, if I can hold it in my hand, especially for breakfast, like a breakfast taco, breakfast burrito, breakfast sandwich, I'm in. And then also to go like fitting with the theme, he cut up some watermelon and strawberries, and guess what he topped it with? A tahini. If you haven't not tried it, don't knock it. It's like some people put salt on their watermelon, right? Oh, and then it's not breakfast without pastries. So he did almond croissants and cinnamon rolls, and the cinnamon rolls had this like caramelized layer of sugar on the bottom that was crunchy, so it added a little like textural element. Oh, looking back, I think that was my favorite breakfast. But it's only been 2 days, so we'll see. I'll update later. So on the transit there, again, kind of just hung out, read books. There's been a lot of reading this trip, which is so nice. I haven't had like time to sit down and read in a long while, so this like makes you sit down and read because you don't get internet out here, right? So you have to be like forced to relax. And at first I was kind of like hesitant of it, but I've given into it and I'm allowing it to happen, and it's been like almost like a little retreat for me. So all that reading made us pretty hungry, so the chef prepared buckwheat soba noodle salad with pork cracklings, but it was really cool what he did. I've never done this before, but he rehydrated them in a shiitake mushroom base water, and he boiled them in there so they kind of like took on the flavors of that mushroom. It was really cool. I mean, he does it all. Like every single dish has been from a different region, and it's so unique. Okay, so back to the little soba noodle salad. Soba noodle salad with pork cracklings, sweet peppers, shredded broccoli, red onion, and a citrus relish, and kind of like tossed with oil and vinegar. And that was just so nice because it was a beautiful sunny day. So a salad was just so refreshing. I mean, it was still cold, but it was sunny. And that's why we did the glacier today, so we could really see like the sun beaming on the ice. So again, we still had more of our transit. So we started on cocktail hour. I had, what did I have? Oh, that's when I had the milk stout. Yeah, I had a milk stout. And there was a beautiful charcuterie board set up with meats and cheeses and fruits. And then for the people drinking like wine, white wine that they want ice in, they had Glacier ice that they harvested off the boat. So they took a net, got a piece of Glacier ice, like chiseled it, and served the little chips for our drinks. And I'm telling you, that's some high quality H2O right there. We got to the Glacier. It was the most incredible thing I've ever seen. I've done an Alaskan cruise on a large cruise line. We were so far away. Like, I didn't even have binoculars on that trip, and I was like, looks like a big chunk of ice over there. That's cool. But we were up close and personal with this thing. Like, we were probably, I don't know. I think the closest we can get is 100 feet legally. Don't quote me on that, but we were pretty freaking close. And you can hear all of like the cracking, and you see chunks of ice falling off. And we saw this incredible, I don't know what it's called. They used a certain word, but a huge piece of ice broke off, and everyone on board, the crew, was like, we haven't seen that big of a piece of ice fall off ever.
Oh, here comes big ol'.
My God. Whoa. Okay, that was incredible. So we've been getting pretty lucky on this trip, and once that ice falls, it just doesn't like it falls, and it creates a massive wave. And they said that you need to be careful about two things. The wave coming off of that break could kind of like sink a ship, or not a ship, just a smaller boat. And then the second thing you need to be really worried about are the shards coming off of the ice. And I was watching, I got it on film. I could see the shards of ice kind of explode off of that original piece that fell. It was incredible. So for dinner, we obviously started with our first wine pairing, which was a white wine, paired with the appetizer, which was an Australian lamb chop with ghee braised grapes and a charred corn and mint little mix. I know it's not appropriate to pick up a bone and chew on it, but I definitely picked it up and gnawed on it. Yeah. Somebody started it, so I was like, okay, I can do it now. But it was that good. And he has this finishing salt on the table. It's like this Celtic finishing sea salt. I put a little bit of that on top. I'm reminiscing right now. All right, main course. Bryce came out with our red wine pairing of the night. But then the 1.5 course in between appetizer and dinner was a whale course. You heard that right.
So we have whales.
We what?
Whales?
Oh,
So
Where are
whales
they?
off of the starboard side. They went down, so they should be back up in
Are
this
they humpbacks or
humpbacks.
okay, can you ask the orcas to come to
I will never say there's whales if there's a whale.
Yeah, are
Are you
yeah.
suggesting this so that we
Oh,
can...
wow.
I'm very highly suggesting to go out.
Bryce told us that there were whales off the starboard side. So we all got up and we watched the whales in the sunset. and it was the most magical experience ever. They're so massive, and you don't realize how massive they are when you're seeing them from far away, but when they're up close like that, I didn't have any words. I was just like, wow, 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 wow. And when they flip their little tail up, and they have two, you know, their little whale tail, there's two flukes, left fluke and right fluke. And I think the whole thing together is just called a fluke. Flukes. They're flukes. But the back is the back of their tail is like white and black mixed together. And it's like a human fingerprint. Like every whale tail is unique to that particular whale. And that's how they can identify whales. So these whales were just kind of like chilling. None of them breaching. They were just enjoying their time. Some of them had little whale babies next to them. It was adorable. So that was a great course number 1.5. And then we got back inside for course number 2. For dinner, we had Long Island smoked duck breast with a grilled yellow nectarine, seared bok choy with a horseradish blanquette. It was just like a creamy sauce. And the duck was beautifully done. It tasted like duck ham almost. It was so comforting. And the last course, honestly, this was probably one of my favorite desserts. Again, this is day 3, so you know, I can't keep saying that because there's more days to come. This is an 8-day journey. But the last course, he did a peppermint sponge cake with an Earl Grey crema and strawberry powder. And the Earl Grey was so, like, it was there. And whenever I try to do something like infusing a tea into something, it's so not prevalent, but this was hitting. It was so tasty, and that was a perfect way to end the meal. After all that eating, reading, and looking at glaciers, we were tired by 9:30. We called it a night and had another beautiful day aboard the Pacific Catalyst.